So I want to come back and speak on this topic because I think it's important to shed light on a little bit of my story and my husband's story in abstinence. This relates to the video that I posted about folks saying, or women thinking that there are no more men or less men out there, not a lot of men that are saving themselves for marriage, that don't practice abstinence. So I wanted to come back and talk about a little bit about my story in that. So for those who don't know my story or have not watched some of my previous videos, before I got married to my husband, I was actually a virgin. My husband was more experienced, and I remember the point of time that I felt so nervous to ask him the question on what he thought about sex before marriage or his thoughts on abstinence, because I really liked him. We were on the same page. I felt like this relationship could go far, but if he was going to say something different from what I needed in my life, the person that I wanted in my life, I knew that I would have to throw up the deuces. And that was so hard for me to do. One reason why I coach women on, or tell you all to make sure to ask those early dating questions, is so essential before you develop feelings, before you get attached, because my feelings could have gone the other way and I could have stayed in a relationship that wasn't healthy for me, or what God needed for me at that time. So in his case, he would, we talked about it, of course, and he told me that, yes, he's also waiting for somebody who is also practicing abstinence or waiting till marriage, right? And so I was like, cool, great. So that was great. But a little background on him is, yes, he was experienced. However, he had made a choice. He rededicated his life to Christ about a year or so before he met me. And so he was on this track and trajectory of getting it right, getting it together. Yes, he made some mess ups, but he knew that in order for me to do this thing the right way, I'm going to have to practice this thing out. I'm going to have to hold myself and practice self-control. So there were plenty of ways that he did that. I'm going to have him probably come on and talk a little bit more, but I know that that's what I sought after. And I remember during our dating season, he led the whole way. Like, as far as what we would do, as far as keeping us pure and making sure that we didn't stumble, there were a lot of things that we did in our dating season that held us back from the temptation of what could happen, right? Of putting us in the wrong predicament or in the wrong space to where we could fall together, where we could stumble. And so that was work in itself. One of the things I remember my husband having was accountability. That's what I was attracted to about him as well. One of the things on my list of what I wanted a guy to have was accountability. So I knew that he wasn't doing this alone. Yes, it was Jesus and him. He had a relationship with God and everything, but also he had people in his life to keep him in order. I knew that he was in his word. I knew that he wanted more in his life. I knew that he was purpose driven, right? And so all those things helped me understand that he really wanted this thing and wanted to do it the right way. And so what I'm saying in all of this is, it might seem like there aren't a lot of men that are practicing abstinence or trying to wait for marriage, and there are. There are a lot of men that are doing that. It may not seem like it, and it might be because of the men that you are choosing, but they are out there. They are working on themselves. They are men that are waiting for marriage and want to also protect their body. And one of the things I wanted to say in this is, a lot of times there is this misconception about dating and whether or not you should say it and not say, what you want in a relationship and how you're waiting for marriage. I want to bring this to you. This is just my take on this, asking whether or not, the guy you're dating is waiting for marriage, and letting him know that you're waiting. And because if you tell him, then he's going to know you're waiting and he's going to try to play you at the end of the day, all the things. That conversation has come up many times, right? So I asked him, I said, what if I did that? What if I said, I don't know, you tell me. Or if I kind of brushed off waiting till marriage and didn't really tell him because I was in fear of what he might do. What would you have done? He said, well, I don't think we would have been together, because for me, I wanted to know that I had somebody who was also on the same path as me. So him telling me that was letting me know that I would have messed up on a good guy, a potential good guy that God had for me because I didn't say anything. And I know there are a lot of men who are playing the game. They are playing the game and they are doing horrible things in your life. But sis, if God has a plan for you, know that you could trust him in letting you know and to discern the good guys and to choose well and to choose put aside the guy that you ain't supposed to be with, right? And so I just want to throw that at you. Again, however you do it is how you do it. But I also don't want you to miss out on the good guys that are out there who are actually truly waiting, and you're not stating it might be something that can hinder you in your dating journey. That's all I want to say. I love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Peace.